Episode 10, here we go. We're recording. I got Mr. Tome Filip of the Natural Classics.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an honor, and it's been such a long time. Finally, we have made this happen on episode 10.
Episode 10. Woo! Yeah, you gotta. If we ever do meet, you're in Australia. For anybody that doesn't know, Tome and his brother Stevie are part of the Natural Classics over in Victoria or Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, Victoria. Yeah, correct.
Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Wrestling for MCW.
Yeah. For the most part, down here we wrestled for MCW, Melbourne City Wrestling. Correct.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a lot of things I want to ask you, but the first thing I want to go over is the fact that you were just in Japan. I want to hear everything about Japan because that's, as a cookie cutters would say, that's on my bucket list. On my bucket list is Japan. I love Japanese food. I love Japanese culture. So I want to hear, how was your trip in Japan?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was the exact same as you. Love Japanese food, love Japanese culture. I've always wanted to be there. And finally it happened. And we were very, very grateful that New Japan was the first, how can I explain it? Like the first time we went to Japan was through New Japan. And that was always my goal. I've been to all over Asia, Southeast Asia for a bunch of vacations, holidays and stuff. And even for some wrestling as well, like Singapore and Vietnam and Thailand, and Cambodia and all that. But I said to myself and to Stevie, my brother, that let's go to Japan, but only for wrestling for the first time. So we were very lucky to be invited to the very, very prestigious World Tag League, and it was phenomenal. Everything you think of and see online, it's in your face. There's nothing that, like, sometimes you see something like a McDonald's burger and you think, oh, this looks nice, and then you go and get it and it's all like sloppy and they've just screwed up everything.
It's smashed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tell me about it. But with Japan, it's everything you see. So everything you see online before, it's the way it is when you go there. The culture is awesome. I love how it's so different to any other place I've been, and the people are amazing. Everyone is very orderly. Everything happens a specific way, and the streets are clean. The wrestling is phenomenal. It's everything that we love, like the style of the strong style wrestling. I can't say any more positive about Japan, and especially being able to wrestle for New Japan, like the pinnacle of Japan. It was just too good to be true.
Is that a short thing, like New Japan Pro Wrestling, or are you going to be going back anytime soon?
Well, that's a very good question. I hope we're going back soon. So we were invited for the World Tag League. Usually, if you get invited for something like that, it's usually a kind of like a test to see if you could maybe work there. But I feel like for our age and our intentions and what we showed them, hopefully that they could look at having us there full time, because that is a goal for me. And if anything, it easily can be an end goal too, because that place there, the way how that the shows run and everything, and it screams the Natural Classics, put it that way.
And I mean, Japanese strong style and wrestling in general is very well defined, like rooted in American wrestling, even though we have a lot of wrestlers that come over from Japan and, other places. But, there's a lot of wrestlers even from the States here and from the UK that go over to Japan. And you see that like part of their resume and their pedigree, like Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor and all these dudes, have gone over there, spent time, and then they come back. Even a lot of times, like you'll hear, especially even WWE, you'll talk about, now they're mentioning, they were the New Japan, or no, it's what is it? The IP. God, I'm having a brain fart. They mentioned the championships that they won over. IWGP, thank you. So they mentioned the IWGP like championships that they've held over there when they're like going through their resume here when they're talking about their match. But I mean, besides the wrestling, what is something you take away from Japan that's like, I watch your stories and I even message you when you show food like ramen and stuff. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But like, what is something that you like will take away from Japan?
From Japan? Well, I could easily say the food. But other than the food, the absolute high level of respect everyone has for each other, whether you're somebody who works in a I've got to try and not say Australian slang because a lot of people don't know like what a servo is, but like someone who works at like a 7-Eleven versus somebody very high up in a corporate role. Everyone is respectful to each other no matter where you are in life. And I think that's a really good show of character because for me, when I look at somebody, I especially like a future partner or whatever it may be, I will watch how they treat somebody at a register checkout or somebody that's just working like a very basic kind of job or somebody that can't give them something other than what they're asking for at that moment. If they treat them well, then they're a good person. And in Japan, there was not one person who I met that wasn't I've got to get my words right. That wasn't nice. So everybody that you would ask for help on the street, someone will stop what they're doing and show you how to get there on the train or whatever it may be when you're lost, or if you don't know how to open a door, or if something you can't read in English. Everyone's just extremely and incredibly nice, and that's one thing I've taken away from Japan. I knew that was a thing, but experience it in person was phenomenal, and it just made me feel so like good inside. And now I want to spread as much as I can like that part of their culture here.
Right on. I think I need to go to Japan to get some of that like sponged up in my soul and bring it back to the States. I think we need a lot of that type of, not just that humble and kindness or whatever, but we need a lot of that. I guess it comes down to like, the bare bones of humans being humans, bringing it back to that basic level. I think we need a lot of that back here in the States because we're just going through a bunch of shit. But besides that, like what I mean, for everybody watching, what made you start getting into wrestling? At what age? What was the key thing that made you go, that's what I want to do?
Good question. So when I was extremely young, I can't even remember the age. I was watching wrestling on television with my grandfather and his brother. And as far as I've been told, I was watching wrestling before this as well when I was really, really young, maybe like probably 1.5 or 2 years old. But I remember I was probably, maybe you can say like 3 years old or something, or maybe 5 years old, something like that. I was watching Kurt Angle and Stone Cold on SmackDown. And I never forget hating Kurt Angle because his persona was he was so good at being such a piece of crap, and loved Stone Cold just because of his aura, the way he walked out and stuff. You could just look at him for a split second, and you're just hooked onto Stone Cold. You don't know why, but just the way he walks and carries himself, you just believe everything he says and does. And that was my first memory of watching wrestling. And my grandfather's brother, he was he was going for Kurt Angle, and I was like, no, like Stone Cold. And I forgot what happened with the result of the match, but that was my first memory, and I knew deep down inside that was something I wanted to become, because as a kid you want to be like your heroes and stuff. And as time went on, growing up, I was always put into sports from my parents because they believed, in community engagement activities outside of school, and to be physical and all that sort of stuff. And we're very grateful that we played soccer, my brother and I played about 16 years. And then I played a little bit of cricket before I started wrestling. But I knew in the back of my head that wrestling was something I always wanted to do. And I remember in my last year of schooling, it was second last year, whatever it was, I was 17. And I knew that to be a wrestler, you have to look like a wrestler. And I was very blessed that I had an uncle, my mum's brother. He was into gym and working out, and he just had genetically the most gifted body, natural and everything like that. 6-pack, arms were huge. Like, I can't even attain the size of his arms, how they were. Like, I can't believe it. And I'm like 30 now, and he was 30 at the time when I was growing up, watching him work out in my grandpa's garage. And I was like, I have to lift. I have to look like him if I want to, like, start pro wrestling. And it wasn't the workouts that really pushed me to like drive me to look good to be able to wrestle. It was more so I want to be healthy and stuff. So I learned a lot of health, like how to eat and how to work out from him. And then I'm like, great, this is going to go hand in hand with the wrestling that I want to do, because I know that you have to look the part as well. And it took me a long time until like the last few years where I felt like I'm more confident with my body. But yeah, it was a long, long journey of working out and stuff. And then the moment I turned 18, I knew I was going to quit all my other sports and go straight to wrestling school. Because my parents were like cool with it at the start, but they were kind of like, oh, maybe you get your license, your car license, and then go to wrestling. Because we're not going to take you to this weird kind of sport. It's really weird. Like you're landing on your back, and but they weren't against it. It's just that it was kind of weird for them to take me there. As you know, who takes their kids to pro wrestling school? But they'll take them to like a soccer game or a basketball game or something like that. And went straight to wrestling school, and I fell in love with it. I was there 4 days a week, the maximum amount of days, and I worked out every day. And it was just, the rest has been history since I turned 18. And yes, in Australia, you have to be 18 to drive, to get your license. And then Stevie, my brother, he started literally when he turned 18 as well, because he always wanted to be a wrestler. And he looked up to me a lot. So he did it, obviously, because he wanted to as well. But he saw that I enjoyed it as well. And as a younger brother, they like to, they tend to look up to their older brother. So I was glad I was like a good role model for him. So
That's awesome, man. That, like, you guys currently right now are working as what, like somewhat heels, right?
I mean, in Japan, yeah, we're complete assholes. We're a part of the Rogue Army branch of the Bullet.
Right. How's that going? Yeah, you guys is that based out of New Zealand, right?
So originally, I mean, it's based out of New Zealand, you could say, and Australia because of Farley. He's located in New Zealand, and we went to his dojo for 3 months in 2019. So that was our kind of like within New Japan and all that kind of scene.
Is it like a boot camp?
Yeah, so it's like it replicates the New Japan dojo in Japan, but he brought it to New Zealand because he went through that system when he started with New Japan many, many years ago. I think it was like 2008 or something like that. And he has brought everything to there. So whatever you see in Japan, you're gonna see and experience it in New Zealand. So Stevie and I were lucky enough to win a tryout with Farley Dojo / New Japan in 2018 at the end of 2018. And so we got a scholarship at the Farley Dojo. And originally, they only wanted one person from that tryout to be able to go to the dojo, but they liked us both and they selected both of us. So we went to New Zealand, virtually just paying our flights there, and everything else was taken care of. So we felt we really had to like push ourselves, being in a position. We had everyone looking at us thinking like, you know, all these guys are like, they got a scholarship, but I'm paying an arm and a leg to be here. And we apparently raised the bar at that place, and the intake we had were very good as well. One of them being Oscar, who's currently with New Japan, but he's on his excursion in UK at the moment. So I think he'll be returning maybe, my guess, next year. So he was cool. We really pushed each other. And yeah, all the others in that group were phenomenal. Even someone you would know yourself, possibly Aaron Solo, who wrestles for AEW. He was in the same with us, so he was really cool. We pushed each other so much. But with that intake there, that was kind of like our in that kind of with Farley, and Farley really liked us, and he started the Tamashi brand. So that's like the Australian, New Japan / New Zealand Oceania region for New Japan, and it's pretty much all Farley and Bonza like making that happen. So props to them for really pushing for that. And it's where we all had a chat and we created the road.
Decided to become assholes.
Yeah, decided to become assholes. But yeah, after going to Japan, hearing some of the audience members, it was very interesting because they were very loving of Stevie and I. We brought a bunch of 8x10s that all flew. They all went. So by like the last session, they were just gone. And it was very interesting. So even though we're such assholes over there, the crowd really liked us. So It was very cool.
There's something about like I watched your post match interviews after your recent matches, and there's something you have, and this is I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I tell this to people who I know, and I just this is me as a fan for all these years, but there's something you have when you're being a heel on camera. You got it, like it's there. Like I don't know if that's something that just you turn up a little bit of your dark side. But there's something you have there, like you as a face, like and I'm a little bit biased, like I always lean towards heels. I've always liked heels.
Yeah.
Like it's just always been me. So when I see somebody become a heel, when I've seen them be a face, it's either really good or it's really bad. But for you, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. You have it's there, and I think if you just like continue that route, it's gonna be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like. For me, it's very interesting since I'm far from that as a person. I am the type of person where I will always, like, just say if I'm at, like, bring back the register kind of thing. So if I'm at a register, it doesn't matter who it is, I'll be very, very thankful to the person and I tell them to have a good day. Even if they don't tell me to have a good day, I'll kind of walk off and damn it, they didn't say it back to me. Not that I really care, but it's more so, it's just the kind of person I am. I'm very... nice. And then, I don't know, when it comes to wrestling, I just click a little bit better when it comes to being a piece of crap. It's easy for me. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No, I mean, there's some dudes that just when as soon as they come past the curtain and that switch goes on, as Lenny would say, flip the switch, like it just comes natural to them and they become this persona that they just easily draw from. And it's amazing to watch because with my time in AEW, I got to know a lot of guys behind behind the curtain and these guys were just super awesome to be around. And then you would see them go out and become a whole different character. And it's like, it just blows my mind that the performance and the ability to flip into this character and be this person, it's like you don't know until you work in the industry. And again, I'm not a wrestler. I never can be a wrestler, but to see it from a production value, it gained a whole new respect for me. And even though I'm not with AEW, I still see that like, wow, I know this person and he's the sweetest guy and he's a father and he's this and that. And then he gets in there, he's a complete piece of shit asshole. Yeah. But it's amazing to me.
It is, isn't it? So a lot of people that, that's why I love the fans because they are the reason why we're doing this. But some of them that really think that they know what's going on behind the scenes truly don't know. I have no idea.
No, they don't know. Like, it's the smart mark, thing. But a lot of wrestling fans, I think are a lot smarter now. Like you're 30, I'm 43, even though the trolls think I'm 75. But I grew up in the era where the kayfabe was held so with prestige of like you had to abide by kayfabe, and not until like the 90s and actually the late 80s is when it started to turn that people started to learn that this was like predetermined and scripted. Do you guys face a lot of that still? Like, this is fake and, blah, 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 all that bullshit?
I think everyone's kind of over that, unless it's the general public on the street or just somebody that you've met through someone and they go, oh, you do that wrestling stuff. Ha, ha, ha. Sometimes you get that and it's like,
Right.
I don't even bother with it, to be honest, because there's just no point. Like, I don't have an injury to be like, oh, look at this arm. It's like broken because of this. I don't have anything like that, so I can't really show like something on the spot just to shut them up. But I usually just, they weren't ever, like, there's no point in me trying to explain something to someone like that where they'll never watch a show anyway. So it's like,
yeah,
who cares?
Well, there was a line that that Dustin Reynolds, Cody's older brother, told me. He said that he's like, essentially when he would get that in his career about wrestling being fake, and he's like, well, do you watch movies because they're real? You watch them to be entertained. And it was like, that stuck with me,
Oh, that's a really good quote. Absolutely. Maybe that's something I could use for sure.
No, for sure, yeah. So what? Nobody really knows this, but you're a maniac. You're not a troll, but you're a maniac. So when did you fall into that universe?
Interesting. So The way it worked for me, and I was thinking about this the other day, because sometimes I have to remind myself, like, how did I start watching like Big Lenny and the Diary Misfits? And so I stem it back to, I think it was 2017 or 18, whenever Lenny was on Dave Palumbo's, like the first time, yeah, RX Muscle. And the reason why I watched RX Muscle was because of Triple H. And you think, why because of Triple H? Because Dave Palumbo was Triple H's dietitian / nutritionist when he was wrestling, especially in the later part of his years. I think it was like maybe from 2009 onwards until he recently just retired. And so I would watch Dave Palumbo because I was obsessed with Triple H. And Triple H was ultimately the reason why I started pro wrestling, because yes, I watched wrestling when I was younger and stuff, but I think from a teenager point, so maybe, like 13, 14 or something, I really was drawn in by Triple H because I liked how he didn't smoke, didn't drink, and didn't do drugs as far as what...
He didn't promote it either. He didn't say I'm straight edge. He just didn't do it.
He just didn't do it. And everyone but him spoke about that. Like, for example, Kevin Nash saying that he was the guy that would drag everyone and throw them into the van and then drive them to the next town because they were all so screwed.
Designated driver.
Yeah, and that's what I modeled myself after and followed as best as I could his footsteps, given where I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and everything else is happening everywhere but here. Trying my best to, model myself after him. And, from I think it was 16, I said to myself, I'm never going to drink, smoke, or do drugs. Not that I was a drinker before. I've never been drunk or even tipsy in my life. But I would like back in the day, I used to have like a little sip of just say like a Scotch or a bourbon. I'd put it inside my Coke, like my Coke Zero. So I would have very little bit of like a bourbon or a Scotch and a whiskey, whatever you want to call it, and then the rest being Coke, because the flavor of it is really nice. So and from that. Like I was 16, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I stopped. And since then, I haven't even had a drop of alcohol or and I've never done any recreational party drugs at all. And I don't believe in them and, really hate them. And obviously smoking, no way, that's disgusting. So that was the reason why I started really wanted to be a wrestler, like full on, like I'm giving everything I've got. And then from there, because of Triple H, I watched Dave Palumbo's videos because I studied Triple H a lot. And I was, watching Dave Palumbo's videos all the time. And one day stumbled across this Big Lenny thing. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm a very curious person. I can go down a rabbit hole if I'm interested in something. If I'm not interested in something, I'll just flick by it, don't care. But for some reason, Lenny just drew me to the TV. I'm sure like a lot of other people, because he's very different. He was very unique. He had his very interesting, strong opinions on a lot of things. And I just like to, and whether I agreed on half them or not, I just wanted to know. He was just a very interesting person. I don't know what it was. It was just something about Lenny. He's the most interesting person that I've ever seen that I haven't met in my life. And that's how I started watching all of those videos. And it's he's just funny. I don't know what else to say.
It's the entertainment value, again, majority of people didn't really agree with a lot of the things he said. There's some things actually I aligned with on Lenny, and he knew that there's certain things, but majority of them you're like, you like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it was just an entertainment value that I think in a world where everything else was so scripted and everything is so actually cookie cutter, he was the ultimate non-cookie cutter.
Yeah, he truly was, and that's I owe a lot to Lenny, with the way how he, with literally cookie cutter. So you will never see me wear the same pair of sneakers that everyone's going to be wearing right now. So if everyone, like what's currently trending, those Nike Air Jordan kind of sneakers. They got the low dunks, the high dunks, the panda color, and all the different colors and stuff like that. I'll never wear
way more than me.
Like if I put them on now and I look around and I'm seeing someone wear the same shoes as me, I would just feel like I feel like such a cookie cutter. Like take that crap off. So I'll just get something that nobody has, or something that I like. And if it's trending for whatever reason, if it becomes a trend, then so be it. But it's because I like it, not because I saw somebody and I thought, I'm going to do that because that's all everyone's wearing. And I better wear it to fit in. So it's not me. And even for hairstyles and stuff, I've had the same hair since 2000, I don't know, like 12 or something like that. It's been long tied up like this. I haven't changed it. So, it's just,
I mean, that's one thing actually I agree with you. And one thing I align with Lenny is that, you see what the rest of everybody's doing, and it's like society's like, oh, I gotta have a Ferrari. Oh, I mean, and for people that want to have that, go get it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like that's your life. But to me, I never worked my ass off or did everything in my career in my life so that I could have the massive house or I could have the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Or wear a suit and tie every day and the best tuxes and whatever. Like that's all materialistic shit I really never cared about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see it. I'm wearing your
shirt. I saw the Untamed just above. Yeah. I love that.
It had to be done.
Had to be done.
Oh, you sent shirts to Lenny, right?
Yeah, in 2020, I think it was. I was like, I'm gonna send a shirt to Lenny and Brad or whatever it is, and see if they want to like put it on the video or something like that. And Brad was kind enough to.
It wasn't a video. It was in the Bradford Manor. The when Lenny goes down, he talks about Juicy in Congo.
Yeah.
So any of the maniacs, you go there, you'll see Natural Classics T-shirt on Lenny.
That's so good. That was that was cool because I never got to meet him. I did go in 22 to America, Orlando and stuff, but no, it wasn't 22. It might have been. I don't know. Yeah, in 2022, I went to America, but I didn't go to Orlando. That was the first time I went there. I think it was the last time, the fifth time I went there. I didn't go to Orlando. And I was thinking...
You were in Texas, weren't you?
Yeah, I was mainly in Texas, LA, for actually quite a long time in LA. Texas and... Crap. And then went to Mexico as well for one night from LA, but it was just Tijuana across the border. Yeah, and I think we went to another place. Oh, we went to Seattle as well because we wrestled at Defy Wrestling. But
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and I regret not going to Orlando. But I was with Stevie, and I didn't want to like force him to go. Like, oh, let's get a plane ticket to Orlando. It's like a long flight, and then just to see like Lenny and Brad and you and everyone. But
right. We
were like, that's all right. Maybe next time. And then then he passed away recently. But at least that video, he put. It's even on his Instagram. He's got a picture of the Natural Classic station with Brad behind him like that. That was funny. So when I saw that, that made my day. I was so happy.
Yeah. What's if you want to talk about it, but if there's one memory or one ment, right? What's one thing when you think about the Misfits and Big Lenny? What's one that comes to your mind?
Oh wow, you're really putting me on the spot.
There's a lot of them because I get asked that too sometimes, but there's just I gotta pass it forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I really hope I can think of something in the next 5 seconds. God, there's too many. One meant. I'm not saying this is the best one, but I just never forget that time when he came into the gym with that wig on.
The dreadlocks?
Yeah, it was so funny. He went out of his way to do that just for the video. Like, what a legend. He's so funny. He put himself as a cutter to show people that, like this is a cookie cutter, like the hairstyle or whatever it was he was trying to portray. But yeah, he's funny. If I can think of anything throughout the video, I'll just say it. But a lot of the ments actually came from a podcast with me a lot because I was in 2020. I was because of lockdown and stuff. I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was tanning outside a lot. And that was before I got a tanning bed myself because they're banned here, mind you. So I had to buy one. And I was tanning outside before winter came, and it was I just listening to the podcast a lot, and there was a lot of ments on the podcast for sure. Like there was so many. I would just lay outside in the backyard by myself and just cracking up laughing. So good.
Because the shit would come out of the shit that not only just him, but like, when they had like other people on, just the things that would be spoken about. there was no other podcast, no other platform like it. Everything else was scripted, and like it was just they were completely just real and 100% completely transparent.
Yeah, and they were so comfortable with each other that they said anything and everything, and it really felt like you were in the room with them.
No, absolutely, and like more than anything, even though I grew a relationship with them, I'm still a fan from day one, and I tell Andrew that all the time. I'm like, dude, like take all like our relationship and like all that out the window. I was a fan before anything else, and I'm still a fan. And as much as the trolls want me dead and hate my guts, I always will be a fan. And I look back on a lot of golden moments, and it's just like I always say they captured lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question there. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, right on. So what's plans for you in the Natural Classic? What do you got going on now or in the future? What's on the radar?
So our goal is to be in New Japan. So obviously anything can pop up, or maybe that door might not be open for whatever reason. So we're always making sure we're staying ready. So that's one thing we always want to do, just stay ready, in shape, in wrestling shape as well, like physically and fit. So training when we can, and being in the gym, following our strict diets apart from a cheat day once a week or whatever it is. And
what's on your cheat day?
So the most recent one, it was cool because it was a complete surprise apart from breakfast, because it was my birthday celebration. So my fiance took me out for the day. We went. We went to a sushi train, but like a really nice one in the actual city. So like all the high rises, and you see like there was like a nice big window, and we had the train, and it was like unlimited for me. I'm like, I want this, I want that, I want that, and I was spoiled. I was spoiled rotten. And after that, we for dinner we had a Argentinian barbecue dinner. So it was a very, very popular place that I heard of. I heard of a while ago, but we never went for whatever reason. But every time my fiance wanted to go back in the day, you had to book. So she went, and they were like, "No, you have to book like 2-3 weeks in advance." So she booked it, and I was blown away from how someone can make like a beef taste like this, or a pork taste like this, and it was very good, nice barbecue, and to taste like the flatbreads from like Argentinian flatbread with butter and honey. Like it's really bizarre, but like I know I have that for breakfast sometimes, like as a dessert kind of thing, but that there with like meat that's salty, it just goes well. So very interesting. And then we had like these souffle pancakes, which I didn't get to have a chance to have in Japan. So they're like those fluffy pancakes that are like very thick.
Yeah.
And they jiggle. So we had that. And then on the way back to the car, I knew of this ice cream spot that was along the way back, so we got some more ice cream, which is super cool. But it was a very full-on day. But cheat food, that's like my outlet, because I don't drink, smoke, or do drugs. To have like a cheat meal is the best. And when I'm dieting, when I have to like get really lean, because I have a coach, and we when we want to dial in like I did before Japan, it's tough, because I like my once a week cheat meal, even if it's not a day, but it's a cheat meal. That keeps me like really like going. But when I'm dieting, I can't have that, and it's like 6 weeks or something without it, and I'm just eating my regimented meals. It's like, damn it, but it's a part of the process, So yeah.
There's a place in Orlando called Fluffy, and it's based on that fluffy. Or I've never been there, but I've seen it countless times. And me being a fat ass, like I should be stopping by there at some point.
You should,
but like I see pictures of it online all the time, because in Central Florida, near Orlando, there's Winter Park, and Winter Park is...
Yes, I've been there.
Yeah, so you said you've been there?
Oh, yeah, many times. Every time I went to America,
Winter Park,
last time.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, Winter Park has like culturally every bit of diverse food, from Mexican to, they have a lot of Vietnamese and Thai and Japanese. I just found a spot the other day called Kai Kai, which is barbecue dumplings, and I seen it online. Like they were doing a lot of influencer shit, and I was just in the area. Actually, completely off topic. Winter Park is the only place where I take my car to get washed, because where I'm at, they do like that drive-through that really doesn't clean your car. I like the hand wash interior, like the really get into the detailing of the car. And there's a place in Windsor Park, so I go there and they do it. And then I was like there, and I'm like, Kai Kai's right here, and it's inside a marketplace.
Okay.
So I said, all right, I'm right by. I did the car wash. I'll stop by. And when I went there was like absolutely no parking. Like the parking lot was like people were parked on the street, and I'm like, either there's something here that I don't know about. The food's that good. I don't know what's going on. And I walk in, and it's like packed to pack people. Whoa. And it's not just Kai Kai. It's they have other little like sushi shops inside, and it's a Korean market.
Oh.
So, but the Kai Kai had the most amount of people waiting for it. So I was like, all right, I get online, and I'm like, I feel like, a newbie there trying to figure out what's the best thing to get. And I keep hearing people ordering the crispy pork. They're ordering the crispy pork and the pork dumplings and the crispy pork. And I'm like, okay. As somebody going to a spot for the first time, what I like to do, especially with Japanese and ramen, I'll get the tonkatsu ramen. That's like base, like, like if they can do that, then everything else should
be else is fine, so like a spicy one or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So I said, all right, I'll do the crispy pork. Well, got the food, waited like 20 minutes, got the food. There's nowhere to sit down and eat. It's too many people. So I went in my car. And I sat in my car, and the first piece of crispy pork I put in my fucking mouth, I was like, holy shit. I was like, what the fuck is this made out of? What did they do to this? And I was like, damn, I should have bought like 2 more of these to take home with me so that I could like ration it out for the fucking week.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like if you're back in Orlando and I'm not here,
yeah,
go to Kai Kai. This is actually probably like a spot for them. Like Kai Kai barbecue and dumplings.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
I'm down.
Phenomenal.
Well, I just had the crispy pork in the Argentinian place on the weekend, and that it blew me away. So I'm definitely like a crispy pork fan for sure. Like pork as a meat is like up there for me, like top 2, top 3. So.
Well, right, and actually, not to go back to Kai Kai, but right up around the corner, there's King Bao, which is bao buns.
Oh yeah,
and then like two miles down the road is a Mexican taco place called Black Rooster Taqueria.
Okay.
Anytime I want tacos, I'm going to Winter Park to get tacos from Black Rooster Taqueria. And anybody that visits me, I take them there. Like, hey, let's go to Black Rooster Taqueria.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
That's awesome. Like Orlando is such a touristy spot, so they have to have all of these places, and they have to have good food, and it really does deliver. Every time I've gone to Orlando, I've just been blown away from the food. And even though I'm strict on my diet and stuff, I'll leave some days where I just eat whatever I want, and it's great. Like all of the food's phenomenal. It doesn't compare to the rest of America, honestly. And I've been around the country quite a bit, and New York and stuff. You get the pizza and all that dollar slice, and it's nice, and the nuts on the side of the road and all the cool things. But I feel like Orlando is you can get everything, and it's just phenomenal. So.
What happens here is since it's a tourist trap, they get you with the chainy and the fast food. But if you know a local, like they'll point you in the right direction towards the like mom and pop places, like the ones I just mentioned. Those are mom and pop places. Same thing about South Florida. If I go to South Florida, I know the spots to go to for pizza and stuff like that. Spanish food, I know the spots that I go to. It's a little bit of a travel, but it's like if I'm going to go get chicharrones or tostones, I know where I'm going. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll be back. I know where I'm going. So, again, I'm a fat ass, so I know where all these places are.
That's the best. I love it.
I mean, when I go back to New York, it's really just as silly as it sounds. A lot of people are going to cringe. I go to White Castle. Like as soon as I'm there, I'm like, where's the nearest White Castle? Yeah. I mean, we have one here in Orlando. Yeah. There's a White Castle, but New York is like, there's something different about White Castle at 2 a.m. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. It's just meant to be.
Yeah, no, it's just meant to be, man. Yeah.
So true.
But listen, dude, I appreciate you making some time for me. It's in the morning over there, and I know you got to get on with your day. But I want to thank you for jumping on with me and having a chat. We've been talking for years, and ever since I started this video series, I thought about bringing you on and having a chat with you. So I appreciate it again, man.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And sorry it took a little bit longer for me to get on this because of just so many things happening. Like even before Japan, there was a lot of preparation. And today I felt like was the best day considering it's coming up to
No,
Christmas
I
now and
mean the
everything.
stars aligned.
Absolutely, yeah. And I would love to jump on again in the future. Call me anytime. And yeah, happy to chat whatever. We can even have like a chat about a specific topic or whatever it may be going in our lives. So yeah.
Yeah, right on, man. And the next time you come to the States, if I'm still here in Orlando or Central Florida, I definitely gonna hook you up and we'll head to some of these spots I just mentioned, man.
Yeah, there is no
You gotta,
question. I'm gonna.
you gotta throw me around in the ring too. Get me in the ring and throw me around. That'll make a lot of the trolls happy to see me get thrown around.
I'll give you a body slam.
I've never taken one. I'm curious what that'll feel like.
Oh yeah, like my coach's friend, who's a huge wrestling fan. He wanted to do a seminar kind of thing with him and his friends, and they asked me to coach it and to do it for them, and I did it. So I knew like a local wrestling school here where I started, and they said yeah, it's fine. I'm like, all right, cool. So it was like a birthday party kind of thing, and yeah, when I gave him his first body slam, he's like, whoa, I have a new level of respect for this. Like, and he respected it, and he knew a lot about wrestling because he's like a diehard fan. But after taking his first bump, after I taught him how to take a bump and taking a body slam, he's like, yeah, I could never do this, but wow, like I respect wrestling more than ever now. And I thought I knew it all. I'm like, wow. So,
Yeah, I can only imagine. I've watched it right from ringside. I've watched it as a fan all these years, and you hear and like
yeah.
all the stories and whatnot. And I will always respect the level of work and effort that goes into being a professional wrestler. So you always have my respect, and as well goes to your brother.
Bless. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's.
All right, dude. Well, again, I appreciate your time. Natural Classics, Tome, Felipe, Stevie, Felipe on Instagram. I'll put the link somewhere in the video.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.